Hello, Community Bible Church. Welcome to another edition of A Verse a Day, our online daily Bible study. I hope that you're having a good Friday here this afternoon, and just so we are excited about this weekend. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. So we will be talking a little bit about just current events and things like that in our sermon here, and I don't think you're gonna want to miss it. But we have two services: 9:30 a.m. and 10:45, or excuse me, 11. I've said that wrong. 9:30 and 11 are two services there, and then we have community groups going on in both of those services as well. And so come on, come early. It's gonna be the fall back time, so don't forget if you're don't use your cell phone anymore to wake up. Make sure that you still actually set your alarm back. I think your cell phone's going to do it automatically for you, but you get an extra hour sleep. So that's just a great opportunity to get an extra a little bit of sleep before you come in early to the first service and spend some time there or something like that. So, but hey, let's get into 1 John 4:5 today. And it says, "They are from the world, therefore they speak from the world, and the world listens to them." All right, so we first have to ask ourselves, who's the they? That's a pretty important question when we come to 1 John 4:5. And if you haven't figured it out yet, really 99% of your Bible questions probably can just be discovered by reading the few verses above it or a few verses below it. Usually it's just the context. Context is the most important thing in trying to understand and determine the Bible. And so that way you don't get weird beliefs, because the Bible naturally will provide its own parameters on things. And so if you've been tracking with us, we're not going to go back into it because this is just one verse a day. But if you've been tracking with us in the last few days here, you've been watching that it's been talking about Spirit of God that indwells believers, or there's the spirit of the Antichrist that is already in this world and really growing and becoming more powerful. And that spirit from not from God, but the spirit of the Antichrist does empower, does go out and influence many people inside the earth. And so what I think this verse is very clearly talking about are those that are not of God, but rather whether they be false teachers trying to sway believers, or whether they're just outside the church altogether, preaching through inappropriate or sinful things and things like that. And so verse 5, when it says they are from the world, all right, so they are not from God, right? Because if it's said in the last verse, it very clearly defines, if you're not from God, then you are from the world. So they are not from God, they are from the world. This is not a good thing, all right? Therefore, they speak from the world. So the message that they are going to speak is going to align with their worldview as being from the world. So if you are a Christian, sometimes I know in my own life, I look around and I hear some of the rhetoric coming from people that are not inside the church, and especially the rhetoric and some of the hateful and divisive things aimed at the church that I feel that are unfair or not true or anything like that. And we say, how could they say this? Why are they saying this? Well, here's the reason why. Here's the reason why that Christians receive so much hate. It's because that spirit of the Antichrist is already in the world. He already is influencing people. And if somebody is not of God, then they're going to be of the world, and that's going to shape everything that they view themselves as. And so just like hopefully if you are a Christian, everything that you view, everything that you look at, how you perceive the world is shaped by your relationship with God. For the unchristian, everything is shaped by their lack of relationship with God. And so what they're going to speak is what they're going to comes out of what they see and how they interpret that, and the world listens to them. All right. And if you're also like me, sometimes you're like thinking, man, this person that's talking on TV right now, they're just full of a bunch of baloney, and I don't understand how in the world could anybody think that this makes sense, this is the right way of thinking, that this is loving, or this is whatever. Like, how could we be so far off? Well, here it is. They are related by the world. You see the world mentioned 3 times here. And so it means that they're speaking what they feel, they're speaking who they are, and everybody else that identifies with them as being part of the world and not of God is also going to say, you know what, that makes sense, because the thing that defines unbelievers is their lack of relationship with God, just like the thing that defines believers is our relationship with God. And so hopefully that just provides a little bit of context real quickly here. about sometimes even what we're going through right now with this once every 4 year type national election, and sometimes you'll hear certain things and certain arguments come out, and you just say, man, this does not make sense. How are people talking this way? How are they feeling this way? Well, many of us in America, the majority, in my opinion, are of the world, and that's the way that they're speaking, the way that they're interpreting, the way that they're looking at certain situations. And so we need to understand that and be mindful of it. Because, though, if you remember the previous verse, that he who is in you is greater than he that is in the world, right? Not that we're going to try to defeat somebody through physical battle or even political battle, but through spiritual battling, getting on our knees, witnessing, practicing those spiritual disciplines, we will have victory. God promises that. So that's what I have for you here this Friday afternoon. I hope that you have a wonderful weekend, whether you're going to be taking the kids out trick-or-treating or whatever you guys do as a family there. But I do hope that you see that we see you on Sunday morning as well. Have a blessed weekend.